North County. We're here. The living dead. Oside lands. Yeah. Two words, San Diego, we able to eat at the same table. Yesterday's fable is today's reality. Welcome to what I call the hip-hop academy of cool, calm calamity. Two words, hip-hop, no chain, wristwatch, no range, marijuana, cocaine, website domains, anonymous, no name, no face, just brain. Learn to play the fucking game. I'm saying two words, Oside, Lenthis, gente, gon' live for the moment. Step out with the homies. It's a takeover, SD makeover, no layover. We already here. Two words, gun control, don't patrol no more. I defend my own and everybody I know. Streets stay hot, try me not. Raising this game so everybody move. Two words, drug use, El Chapo, old news. But the drugs are still used, malabuse, you lose. It's an epidemic, methamphetamines, grandmama's open it. Whole world smoking things. Two words, North County, Oceanside, I'm alive. Hip-hop till I die, write rhymes every night. Cypher's gon' bring the light, lightweight, Miller Lite. Yes, I'm down to fight, bout to soar like a kite.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to another episode of the Kick It Podcast, coming to you live from Oceanside. I'm Louis Lope. I have Bruce over here with me.
Yep.
Vic and Lenz are not going to be joining us for this episode, but Lenz is over at Rosewood, and Vic is handling some stuff because he got to pack. But without further ado, we are here with Big Mike of Oside Hitups.
What's happening?
What's up, man?
Welcome.
What's happening? How you doing?
Chilling, bro. Yeah. It's been a while. We talked about this.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah, getting you on, especially with all the movement going on in the city, and also the murals and whatnot. But which we're gonna go ahead and tap in a little bit later down the episode. First off, the first round of questions that the viewers want to know is your love for graffiti, my dog. When did you first start graffitiing, and then how has it influenced your life?
So like back in like 90, 91, 92, like tag banging was like a big thing. So that's what I got into doing that. I kind of sucked at it. So everyone from our little crew kind of just ventured off into the hood, you know?
Yeah.
So then, because the 90s were a different time, it was a little active. But I kind of sucked, but I always just paid attention, followed. I was never any good. But then, like 5-6 years ago, I just started taking random pictures. I was dealing with some family stuff with my mom, and it just started just growing bigger and bigger. And I was like, what the hell? And then started doing events in my backyard. Then there's different spots and just networking with people and just venturing out, and it's just here we are today, just from taking pictures off Instagram. Just that shit blew up.
That's right. And starting events in your backyard, was that your idea, or someone pitched it? Oh, okay.
Because originally before we did a graffiti one, I got homies from Trap City, San Diego. Shout out Robin Rose.
Okay.
But we did weed sessions in my backyard. So my brother Penguin, he painted the shed first. He put like an Oside, and he did like a beach ball. So it was kind of cool for when it was like a weed farmer's market. Probably had like a few hundred people in my backyard. Everyone just shopping wholesale prices. And so it was pretty cool. So we started doing that. And then I asked a couple of the homies that painted. I was like, hey, do you think we could do like some event back here? You know, paint my fences or paint the sheds or something? Mm-hmm. They're like, hell yeah. And then we did one event and another event, and just got more vendors, local like clothing vendors, and just local people just all coming together. You know, music and weed vendors usually, because everyone be smoking, and then just good vibes and people painting, and it just got just bigger and bigger. I was like, man. Then we started doing venues and like down in Logan and networking with down there. You know, so it's been a ride.
Can you take us back to your first invite to your first venue?
Well, shit, which one down south? We did that North County versus South Bay. I was down there taking pictures in one of the alleys. I ran into Larry, SD Riders, shout out.
Yo, shout out to SD Riders.
And then so he's like, hey, he's like, I heard about you. You know, we should link up. And I was like, yeah. And then we started to do a North versus South, and that shit went crazy. Like it was like 150 people painting. We had all kinds of alleys and yards, and it was cool because we're trying to, you know, unite the county. You know, because everyone be like, oh, Oceanside, that's not San Diego. Well, motherfucker, what is it, Mr. MapQuest? You know everything. You go to jail, it's all San Diego jail. It's all. I mean, but people that move and groove, they know they don't be talking shit like that. It's just goofballs that don't leave their neighborhoods, and you know they're stuck. They don't see the big picture, like, you know. So I mean, it's all San Diego, but we're trying to guys from here go down there, and the guys from down there come up here. So it's been a few years. There's been a lot of that, especially down in Logan. A lot of the walls down there, a good amount of the artists are from North County. So North County's got a heavy presence down there.
Around what time do you think that started like happening more often?
The last few years,
Yeah.
it's real common. Like we have my buddy Gores. He's from the South Bay. I'm gonna be working with him doing an event in San Ysidro, and we got a bunch of guys from our county going down there. And he said the same thing. He's like, we want you guys coming down here. You know, we go up there, like, cause he helped out with the stereo shop in the East Side. Him and Ayler, they're from the South Bay. So I was like, I want to bring them here because Oceanside has a vibe. Like for the most part, usually people, if we do something, we got to go to Logan or down south or go to LA. You know, we have to go out of town. But like Oceanside, we got a vibe. Like it's just cool, and like more stuff's happening. Like I'm born and raised here, you know, from the East Side, and it's like there's never been a time ever where there's been like so many people doing things, like so much motion in the city right now. Like Oceanside is popping. Like there's a lot of cool stuff happening. Like the new arena. I mean, that's gonna be cool. We can do go to concerts here. We don't have to go to fucking Chula Vista or fucking IE or somewhere. Like we could do concerts here. That's one of the good things that's being built. You know, besides all the stupid hotels and stuff. But I think that's one of the good things happening.
Okay, yeah. And speaking about all the hotels being built, what was your opinion on the whole development in the city of Oceanside so far?
West of the 5 sucks.
Okay.
I'm an East of the 5 type of person.
Well,
I mean, I try not to, like, there's certain spots down there, like different restaurants and stuff, but I mean, most of the stuff, when I drive by, I look and I feel like a tourist. Like, I don't belong there, you know? Like, I look at it, at the crowd, and just like the type of food or whatever, or the type of store, and I'm like, that's not for me. You know, the same thing with my people, they feel the same way. They're like, that's not for us. It's not aimed at us. It's for like tourists and the people for, you know, they got money. They're like, you know, they're more focused on taking care of them. So, because I mean, the people from the city that work for the city, you know, police too, they're not even from here. You know, they're just here to get a paycheck. So, you know, when there are politicians, you know, like Esther or Jimmy that are from here, like those are the people that need to be in office, you know, because they're from here, they grew up in these hoods, so they understand and they care about us. And I've seen it with my own eyes. Like, shit, I'm 44. I haven't voted since I was 18. Now I'm all ready to vote because I seen Esther like go to bat for us. Like she straight up called them racist. Said they hate our neighborhood. Like she's with the business. You know, she's real. Like she opened my eyes to like, because I was like, I don't care about politicians. Who cares? They're all the same. They're all rats. But like she's changed my
man.
outlook.
Especially like on the local level, it's much more evident to see like what they stand for and like what they're really doing with like a city as opposed to like one person that's running like a whole state or like the country. You can't really see that much, but on a local level, it's more of a spotlight on what they do, and I agree. You know, like a lot of those people that are in office aren't really from here either. You know, like so what do you don't really have that connection with the city, with the community, and you know, we'll see after November and see how people vote. But yeah, I think this is the strongest I've felt that people have been inclined to vote in like since I've lived here, to be honest. You know, so it's interesting watching all those changes.
Yeah, because the mayor, she said she needed help canvassing, and I was like, well, it's pretty much like graffiti. I was like, you want to be in high visible spots and like where there's lots of traffic, so a lot of people see it. I was like, give me a stack, we'll roll out.
Yeah.
We're gonna start jamming our signs up, get people, have to strong arm some people, knock on their door, be like, vote for Esther or die, like like we need to get her in for 4 more years because like she does a lot for the community, especially with the murals. Like we're only supposed to get 10 grand, and like she called the city manager right away and was like, we need more money. They want to do the whole park. She got another 10 grand, and then she got people to donate, and like she's done a lot. So it's like she deserves a lot of credit for that.
And it's cool that they're going for these projects. They're going with a lot of local artists.
Yeah.
And I feel like initially the original plan was to bring in artists from outside, if I remember.
Well, the original plan, we did the shoe giveaway for Christmas time at the park, and I set up one of my walls, and the homies came out and painted some Christmas stuff. And I had been contacted by different people throughout the city that they were trying to do a mural in the neighborhood. So then the mayor and then a few other people came up to introduce themselves to me at the Christmas event, and they were like talking about different murals they did in Tri-City and stuff. And I was like, oh, cool. I said, I heard you're trying to do a mural in the neighborhood. And they're like, yeah, we have Measure X. And I was like, well, did you talk to nobody from the neighborhood? Because this ain't the beach. Like, we're pretty tight community right here. And they're like, nah, not yet. And I was like, well, just a heads up. If you just think you're going to come in and paint a mural here, it don't work like that. They'll tag over that stuff, if you don't, work with the community.
Yeah.
Here. It's like a big family on the east side. We're all look out for each other.
Yeah.
So then they took my number, and then we started talking, and then we had a meeting, and there was just supposed to be like 1 or 2 walls. And then I was like, nah, we want to do the whole park. I was like, if we don't have enough money, we'll get, donations. Like, we want the whole park. Like, since I was a kid, people have talked about how come we can't paint our park like Chicano Park. Like, everyone, like even the older heads, when they come out now, they're like, that's what they talk about. They're like, man, we used to try to get this done, like, back in the days. And like, they did one mural behind one of the markets, and it was like too gang related back then in the 90s. So they buffed over it. So like it kind of, now we have a bunch of different spots in like the alleys and the businesses that we started painting. So that kind of, like the park is like the cherry on top, because we have a bunch of businesses, the church, a bunch of homeowners, because there's a lot of alleys in the east side. So they all have walls and fences. So we just have like, there's so many people like calling like, oh, we want this painted. And I'm like, I'm with it. Like, so we're just going to paint the whole neighborhood. It's like going to be a real cultural arts district.
Yeah.
So that's just going to be sick.
That's dope, man.
Yeah, I can see the whole neighborhood being highlighted in its culture as well. It's being more out there, and even like the blessing is coming up too.
Yeah.
For the park as well.
Yeah.
Valderrama.
Yeah, it's gonna be. We're doing an event on December 7th.
December 7th.
Yeah, like the park unveiling. It's gonna be a Vamos a Pozole Day.
Oh, okay.
So that's we have like lowriders, performers, dancers, like poetry. We'll have a pozole cook-off. Because the word pozole was very controversial through these meetings. They wouldn't allow us to paint it in the park, that word. But it has a bigger meaning than, the gang. Like, it's a rich history. And we had a lot of the old timers come out. Even the lady, Anita, that sold the pozole, her grandsons came out and wrote, they wrote a nice little story and explained the history of what she did. And, like, it's a really cool history. And it's like, the police in the city are like, well, pozole is the gang. We can't have that. So I was like, it's like, even with all these people saying all this positive stuff and what it meant, the guys in their 60s and 70s, talking about, pozole, they still weren't having it. So I was like, fuck it. I was like, I got alley spots. So we did a cool ass pozole in one of the alleys. And they said they didn't really care for that. But I was like, we could do whatever we want in the alleys and the businesses. We don't need to deal with the city for the most part, as long as the homeowners give us permission. And so I was like, yeah, so we'll do it. But so the name, that'll be like our annual event, but it'll usually be towards the end of summer, like the last Sunday of August. You know how Logan has Chicano Park Day? Our day will be Vamos a Pozole Day. So we'll do that every year. So they're going to learn to like the word pozole. It's going to be the name of our event. We're going to be cooking pozole.
And you set a pozole cook-off.
Yeah.
I'm loving it already.
You go up there, grab different bowls of pozole and shit.
And we'll have like a trophy for the best pozole, little cash prize.
It's gonna be like a golden bowl of
golden
pozole.
bowl. Yeah.
What's your favorite type of pozole, dog?
I like both. I like verde.
Yeah.
You don't see verde too often. It's usually like the red pozole.
Yeah.
But I like when it's verde because you could add chile in there if you want to. Interesting.
Yeah, so that should be cool. We already got the permits and it's all set up. So excited for that day.
That's right.
There'll be a lot of people come out from all over.
That's right. Mike, you've also had a busy month as well. You were just honored at the last city meeting. If I
Yeah.
stand corrected.
I was a little awkward because they didn't tell me anything, and I had to go. I had to leave work a little early so I could make it there on time.
I saw you had
So
your
I
work
went
vest
there. I was
on.
in my work vest and my dirty ass pants, and like everyone was all dressed nice, and I was like, "Fuck!" I was like, "You should have told me. I could have left a little earlier and showered real quick."
Nah, bro, you represented exactly how you know the real
Working man.
motherfucker is.
Surprise, surprise.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But it was cool. It was a little awkward, so I was like, you know, like throw it off. Because I'm not good at like receiving like compliments or people telling me like good things. Like I'm real like humble. Like so it was like awkward for me to like stand there and then them say nice things about me. So it like throws me off a little bit. So I'm not. So I was like, all right, it's cool. But I was like, damn, all right. But it's like it's a bigger picture. Like the community, like I was coming back together. Because they lifted the gang injunction, you know, if you know about the gang injunctions, like they were kind of fucked up because, you know, people that were blood relatives would go to jail just for being with each other, you know.
Exactly.
And you couldn't be at the park, and now like with the park how it is, like there's birthday parties every weekend, kids are out there playing, like it's like the rebirth of the neighborhood.
and
So it's like a
ultimately that's
beautiful
what you
thing.
want, man. You
Yeah,
know, I like the that hope,
yeah.
that hope mural they have. Esther was telling us a little bit about that. Can you tell me about like all the drawings inside of that?
So the word hope was like kind of like the slogan for the neighborhood. You know, we still have hope, you know, with gentrification going on. So it's like this is our hope, like giving us the park at least, our little slice. Yeah, you guys sold us out. You know, we're down the river. You guys gentrified everything. Like, let us have our little slice, you know, our little neighborhoods, you know, display our culture. So it's on the walls at least, you know, even though we're not all living right there because it's just rough. But it's just cool to see. Like,
Yeah, man. I heard the students from Laurel
oh shit,
had
my
a say in
bad.
there. No, you're good, bro.
Smoking this weed.
Ya pegó, güey, ya pegó.
The kids from Laurel, they all had got a piece of paper and they all did sketches.
Yeah.
So we went through them and the artist picked them out, and then we kind of made like a big coloring book because Tri-City, they did their kids mural, but they kind of just let the kids just, which is cool. But we're trying to go for more like, I don't know, more finished look. So we're like, we'll have the kids, we'll make a big coloring book, let the kids come in and paint for the kids' day, and then the artist will come clean it up and finish it, and so it's nice. And then everyone, you know, they painted something on it. So, but we didn't want like a bunch of like I love the kids and all, but we're trying to do these walls like, you know,
make them look nice. Yeah,
we're trying to be, you know, North County Chicano Park, so we want it to look really nice.
Yeah.
It's like make the base and we'll just polish it up.
And then like all the murals,
nice.
kids have been helping with all the murals. They all come out and they'll spray something or, you know, brush something. So they're all out there.
That's dope, man. That's a good way to get the kids involved in that.
Yeah.
Are you surprised at yourself for being involved and how much of a positive result this brought?
Honestly, yeah, it's a trip. I was like just taking pictures of graffiti and like doing hood stuff, and it's like now people be like recognizing me when I go places, or I don't know, feel like a celebrity sometimes, especially when we go to events and shit, like in LA. Like we get a lot of love in LA, the team.
That's right.
So it's like, and then, you know, same thing down in South San Diego. Like Logan's my second home. You know, fucking Logan Heights is a shit.
I saw you in your element at the La Raza
Yeah.
festival going on and
Yeah.
shit. That shit was tight. That was one hell of a fucking party.
Yeah, we're gonna do that next year at the park. We'll bring it to the park.
Yeah. You know what Blacos wants to do, right? He wants to bring it up here in North County.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. We're gonna bring it to the park.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Knock it out. Cause I got the keys to, you know, do stuff right there. So
Yeah.
And then the mayor showed me how to get the permits, what we got to do. So
that's right.
We'll be doing a lot of things. We're gonna start doing concerts, you know, more car shows, because the city is concerned that once we're done painting the park's gonna be like stagnant, like no one's gonna use it.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's the complete opposite. Like we already have stuff planned. Like I have panels down at the park. We leave there, so we're gonna start doing like art programs. You know, like let the kids practice with spray paint, learn how to paint with that. Have artists come out and like help them. Then like this Friday we're doing a movie night at the park, and then we're gonna get a bunch of little pumpkins, and the kids are gonna paint them.
Yeah, it's dope.
So we just want to do more stuff, because like at the community center, we get a lot of kids from Carlsbad because it's cheaper to go here than to the Carlsbad one, and it's only a quick 7-minute drive right after 5, and so we get a lot of kids, you know, that are not from the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And then, you know, our kids are treated different because not all the kids can afford, you know, that it's like 150, I think.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of money. Not everyone can afford that. So they kind of treat some of the kids differently. You know, they have like 2 separate programs, and I was like, I was like, nah, I can't be doing that. Like, we need to figure out something where the kids are doing stuff, and instead of like having the place closed up, and they're like, well, there's no one to work it. I was like, well, give me the keys. Like, we'll be out here. We'll do art stuff or play some sports or something. And they're like, no, it's not that easy. I was like, yeah, like, here, give me the key. It's
Let
pretty
me show
easy.
you real quick.
They're like, and they weren't like, so we're building on it. We're working. We're gonna have a lot of programs and stuff for the kids. Like, we want the kids to do a lot of good stuff. Like, it's not like it was when I was growing up. Like, that park was wild. Like, people died there. Fucking, I've been in a few altercations. Yeah, that shit's wild. It's just different. It's nice to see that people are enjoying the park.
Yeah.
And then just like even at nighttime, like with all the lights on, you just see all the colors. It's just like it's a beautiful thing.
That's right. That's right. Any artists that you want to highlight that were involved in this project? 'Cause I know you had a bunch of artists being involved.
Yeah, there's I guess we could just start from the front and go around. Got the homie Garfield, him and John Castillo up front, and then Juliet, she's on the front side, and then Morrow, he's busting a big wall. He needs to finish. And then we got Emmanuel, the guy right here filming outside by the door. Him and
Shout out.
him and Salvador have a wall they've been working on for like 7 or 8 months or something. They're really slow. And then my homie Dooms came and he banged out that feathered serpent in like 2 days, that 50-foot wall.
Oh shit.
He's an animal. Shout out Dooms. He's a beast. I don't think he's human, but I can't confirm or deny it. But he's an animal. Like, it's a huge wall.
Yeah, the power of the feathered serpent, bro.
Yeah. And then we have the homie Mister and Dentlock. They'll be up here pretty soon to get a wall. And then the homie Dopey and his wife Sheila have a really nice wall. And his wall is like, it won a lot of people over at the city because it had the famous picture where the dad was tying the bandana on the son, but he changed it to a graduation cap and it said no hood like fatherhood. So that won a lot of people over. And like the cool part about that is there's just like a couple lights on the ceiling, and then right where that's painted, there's a light. So it like at nighttime it just shines on that no hood like fatherhood. So it's badass. So his mural's like, yeah, and that's his first mural. Like, he's a tattoo artist. He's a really good artist, but it's his first mural. So he'd be like, damn, it's not as like easy as paper. And I was like, but he's getting there, and he's almost done, and he's been doing good. And then we have 3 other local artists, April, Packer, and Sebastian. They have the wall on the other side. Then Luis did a little wall, and then Classic, Rafa, he's working on his wall. His is almost done. The Hope wall, there was just a whole ton of people worked on that one. The kids wall, there was a lot of people. And then there's the Figueroa family, the 3 of them, Mikey, Chavella, and Sophie. Mikey's is about done. Chavella's is finished, and then Sophie's almost finished. And then they have to bust out the first part or the front side because the city is like pushing us to finish. So we got to like the first of the month, or they're gonna be funky. So we're trying to rush to get everything done, like the main walls, and then we have to seal everything. And then once they're done with us, and then we can start doing other stuff without them.
That's right. That's right. Damn, that whole story's fucking crazy, dog. The amount of stress too, just going through the whole process. But it's worth it though.
Yeah, it's worth it, definitely. I mean, just to see everyone come out and enjoy the park, like just people coming together, like all the neighbors, like they come, they bring food, water. Like if we need electricity or something, they'll run cords from their house. And like, there's a guy across the street from the park. He's got like a construction company. He'd be shooting scaffolding over, and like he'll drive it over. And like if we need ladders, he's like, just walk back there anytime. Just take whatever you need. And like, so I mean, the neighbors have been fucking cool. Everyone's always, and like when I'm out there, like if I don't know them, I'll jam them up. I'll be like, hey, how's it going? Like, what do you think of the walls? Because we've had, some issues with some people. Because not everyone, you can't please everybody, Not everyone's going to like it or understand. Like, so I always try to, check people's temperatures. Like, if I don't know them, I walk up on them, like, hey, how you doing? Like.
What was the most common negative feedback that you came across when people started,
I think it's more people not understanding the culture or the art and just being like, I guess I'll say ignorant.
Yeah.
They call like our Chicano art, it's our culture, but the reality is Cholos celebrate that shit a lot more than regular Mexicans. Whether it's tattoos, on their shirts, like the Chicano art is big amongst Cholos. So people from the city assume our art is like gang related. So they would say, oh, there's hidden gang messages, or this is prison stuff, or you know, like just stupid stuff, and it's not true. It's just ignorance and just not understanding.
Yeah. I was like, no, it actually means this. It's just
Yeah, they think there's like
yeah.
hidden gang messages, and it's like it's like we had to change a bunch of stuff, you know, because some people from South Africa, because they really understand our neighborhood. You know, being from South Africa, it's very similar. So I think that was the day you came out.
Yeah.
It was just supposed to be me, Joanne, the homeowners, and then the lady from the city. But I was like, nah. I was like, we're bringing people out. Fuck that. That shit's whack. Like, how come these people? Why are they so special? If we just had like 5 months of meetings across the street from your house, you know, that's your fault. You missed it. It's no different
Yeah.
than when the city
Those
like
are
builds
meetings.
something
Yeah.
or takes away a business and don't say nothing to us. That's we missed out. We weren't at the meeting.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
missed out. Too bad. You know, keep it moving.
Yeah.
So it's like I was just like, well, why do they have to have a meeting, and why do I have to walk them through the park and show them every wall and explain to them what everything means? Like, why are they so special? They're not even from here, you know.
If they would have been part of this neighborhood, they would have already had been walking through the park checking it out.
And there's white people that are from the neighborhood, and they're cool. They get it. They're like, it's a Mexican neighborhood. They're not trying to be like, I want George Washington painted on the wall, or you know, some shit like that. You know, they get the get down. They know they're from here.
Where's Vanilla Ice?
Yeah. So it's just like, you know, just getting people that aren't from here to understand. So like the goal is once we're starting a nonprofit for the neighborhood, the Eastside Cultural Arts District, is to get money so we could put like little plaques so you could take your phone, scan it. Then we'll have each artist write a little bio on what everything means. So people could just scan it and then like, oh, that's what that means. Like the homie painted on the back of the handball court, he did like a salamander, but it's only found in a certain part of Mexico. So people were like, oh, is that a Pokemon? It's a Pokemon. And it's like, you know, it's ignorant. It's funny, but it's ignorant, you know. So it's like if we educate the kids and people, so it's like they're more accustomed to seeing it and like understanding, and they're not like so scared of it. Like, oh, the culture's kind of cool, the art's cool. Like now I know what it means.
Yeah. That's sick, man. But let's take it back though, man. How did you initially get into graffiti?
Like I said, we were tag banging back in 90,
Yeah.
90, 91, 92. We just walk around up and down Mission Avenue, riding bikes, and just we would still spray paint from like Pet Boys and shit.
Is there like different like graffiti styles and shit?
Oh, there's all kinds.
Yeah.
There's so many different styles.
Could you give us like a quick rundown of like the basic different styles?
Shit. There's just many. You got wild style. You got wild style. You got like blocks. You got old English, like this classic traditional, like just different. Various, you know, different regions have different styles.
What will be your top 3 styles?
I mean, I'm a sucker for block letters. I'm more like old school classic, like cholo type letters. So like blocks, like old English, like samurai letters, like yeah, just different. I'm old fashioned. I'm not like and like traditional, like I guess like New York style graffiti.
Okay.
During your long line of graffiti, some collaborations that you got down with some homies. Could you tell our viewers some, or any projects that are out there, or some projects that people ordered through you that got done?
Oh, we've done shit, all kinds of stuff. We did the stereo shop right there in the east side. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, that shit came out cool. We did that a couple years ago, and that's still riding. And we did the Little League field. That was like, that was probably the biggest art project done in the city, you know, because that's like the hugest walls, like 600 feet.
Yep.
There's a bunch of the homies collabed on that. That shit was pretty cool. Yeah, it was first aerosol, like, so it was cool because not everyone's open to aerosol art, you know, because they just think taggers and, but reality is like a majority of the murals done in the city are done by graffiti artists. So, and they don't realize that.
They just assume like it's gonna be graffiti. It was like, no, dude, there's more to it than just graffiti. Like it's different types of arts, you know.
Yeah, because it was a, you know, back and forth to get the graffiti production at the end of that wall. Because I was like, if it's just whatever you want, then you might as well just pay these guys. I was like, you need to let the artists have some freedom. I was like, and we have to have a graffiti production.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, people aren't gonna like it. And I was like, well, there's a reason this wall hasn't been painted. You know, it's like you need to give the artist freedom. Like we're east of the 5, so we don't have to deal with all the Main Street, Oceanside, and all that nonsense. So it's more open on the east of the 5. So then they agreed to it, and that was crazy. It was pretty cool because we're out there every weekend. And like all the fellas were just hanging out, and then like when it was winding down, they're like, what are we gonna do now? We don't have our weekends. And there was a couple fellas, they finished their part and they were still coming out, and the wives were like, why are you still going? And they're like, well, I have a little bit to finish, and like, cause we were just kicking it. And like that show was memorable. And then we jumped right into the park. So like this whole year has just been just crazy. And it's just, and then we're working on with Vista to do their park, Raintree Park, where they got the handball court.
Yeah.
Yeah, the mayor brought it up because she knows some council people from there. And she's like, well, what do you think? And I was like, yeah. I was like, we're cool with Vista. Like, I know a bunch of people from Vista. I was like, let's do it. You know, because we want to, the goal is to like get other, you know, brown neighborhoods, or even like if it's Samoan or a black neighborhood, like, you know, express your culture through art. Like, take pride in your neighborhood, you know, clean it up. Like I tell people in the neighborhood, like, you see trash, pick it up. You know, dog shit, just pick it up. Homeless people being weird, you know, fucking kick them out. And we've had a few, you know, got, you know, kicked out. Like take pride in the park. It's our neighborhood. Like, if there's any issue, we'll take care of it. We don't want the city to be like a burden on the city. So they're like, oh, we let you guys do this mural, and now this is how you treat it, or so it's like. Then I talk with different people from different neighborhoods around North County about, because the Tri-City mural has been hit a few times, but like Tri-City is a different neighborhood. Like, it's a different ball game.
Right.
It's not as tight knit. But I just talking with all these different people and letting them know, like, you guys are all gonna get art. You know, like just respect the art. Because if you start fucking up, you know, their cities is gonna take that shit.
Yeah.
And then no murals. So it's like, so far, so far so good.
Yeah.
So, because Center Street's gonna be next. They're gonna do the walls behind the high school.
Oh.
So that'll be kind of cool to see.
That's a good amount of wall right there too.
Yeah, it's a lot. I don't know. Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, they had asked me if I could, like, you know, take that. And I told them, you know, I was like, you know, there's politics involved. And I was like, I can't, you know, I'm not from there. I was like, it should be their people that do it. And I talked with, you know, some of the artists and people from over there, let them know, like, kind of like give them the blueprint of how we're doing it. You know, we're keeping it in-house, you know, like, because if you start letting all these organizations and stuff from downtown, like, be involved, they're just going to bring all kinds of weirdos, and like, they have no idea about your neighborhood. They just want to come paint. Yeah. So it's like, if you, like, I'll say 3/4 to 80% of the artists are from the neighborhood. The other 10 or so are, you know, from Oceanside, or like North County. And then I have a few artists from, you know, down in Logan. And it's like, but they're connected to the neighborhood. They've already painted in the neighborhood. They know about the neighborhood.
Yeah, they know the culture.
Yeah, so it's different as opposed to just bring someone from fucking Idaho. And be like, oh, you're a good artist. Here, paint this. Here's $10,000. You know,
I'm gonna draw a cornfield on here.
Yeah. And that's what the city of Oceanside does. They give these big contracts, you know, to people that are not from Oceanside, or at least North County, or even San Diego. I mean, they be getting people from just all over, and it sucks because they get paid. They take that money. They don't spend it in Oceanside. You know, they go home and spend it at home. Yeah. So it's like, I just hope they, with all this being brought to the attention of the city council, like, they start looking towards Oceanside artists, or at least, you know, San Diego artists, because there's a lot of good artists here.
Yeah, no need to import.
I mean, it's cool to bring them in, like, if they're connected or they know. Right. Like, it's cool to bring, like, big artists. Like, I would like to have big artists come paint in the neighborhood.
But what are some of those? Sorry to cut you off. What are some of those artists, those big artists that you would like to see?
We've already had a couple. There's this guy Spick. The homie Spictro he's a SD Murals. He did the Chuchipili mural. Okay. So it's like the Aztec god of like flowers and dance. So he's a beast. He's like one of my favorite artists. Like, he does my tattoos. Like, he does all kinds of stuff. He's insane. Yeah. But like, I was excited for him to paint. Like, I even took a sick day because he wanted to work on a Monday. I was like, I'm gonna take a sick day with you. So we're just hanging out at the park. We had the Raspalo man came by. Like, he fell in love with them. He was there like 3 days. He like got him all 3 days. He even shouted him out on his post. He's like, shout out to the Raspalo man. You're the real MVP. But it was like, I always like watching him paint. He's like, yeah, he's really good.
What would you say it is about like his style of painting that like you find so intriguing?
It's just like really realistic. And he's like, when he's focused, he's just like, he's on it. Like, he's just a different beast. Okay. Like, I don't think he gets enough recognition, like, as some of the other people that have blown up and like making a lot of money. Like, but it's one of my favorites to watch paint. And then we got Ground Floor Murals. They're lagging, but they're supposed to do the Junior Seau mural. It would be nice to see them. get that up finally because we talked with the junior sales mom at the mayor's event, and I was letting her know that we're doing that, and she was, super excited, and she was like, "Well, I'm gonna drive by the park every day till I see it," and I was like, "We'll get it." They're just really, they do a lot of stuff with the Padres, so especially with baseball going on right now, they're painting crazy Padre murals and stuff. So
Okay. Sick, man.
Yeah, speaking of Padres, fucking series are tied. Yeah, that shit's sick, bro. This game's intense. It's a good East Coast game too. Fuck, man.
I would like to see Padres just win the next two and just end it.
Yeah, that's what everyone's hoping for, just to beat the
Yeah.
Dodgers.
To beat the rest of the series.
The first game when they jumped out to the lead, I was like, nice, and then they blew it, and I was like, shit. And then I was like, yeah, I'm never watching a Padre game with Sticky again. He's bad luck. And then the second game, they blew him out, and it was nice to see. Like, I was like, yeah. It's like, there's just something special about this team. Like, they don't quit. Like, you can't stop watching. Like, they could just bust out in the bottom of the ninth. And so I could see just take out the Dodgers and just go all the way. We got good pitching. I mean, we lost Musgrove, so that's a tough loss, but there's enough pitching.
Who do you think would be the hardest team for the Padres to face?
I would say the Yankees.
The
That would be a
Yankees?
nice rematch from '98. I still have trauma from that.
Yeah. What do you remember from that?
Tony Gwynn hit that home run off the Bud Light sign, but we got our ass whooped. Yankees were just way better.
Yeah.
But it would be nice to play them and just get it back. Finally win a World Series.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It always seems like Padres are like they've had like a good team for a while with the potential to win it, but they just
Never get over that hump.
Yeah. Well, I think this would be a good time to go ahead and check on some of the comments
Yeah.
that we
man.
got going on.
All right, so we're chilling on YouTube right now, but I do have a bunch of stuff here on IG. Let's see. We got BetToke one saying Big Mike. We have 90s. Shout out to 90s saying was good, fam.
Yo.
Shout out to Oside Hitups. Narcanate saying Matt Quest just sent me. Placa, shout out, man. Shout out to Barrio Logan. Saludos a todo North County.
Salud.
Got Vic just with the heart emoji. Shout out to Juliet. Placa saying good work, carnales. Pac saying Xochimilco, which I think is talking about the area where that salamander. Oh, what's the name? I know the name of that salamander. I forget it. It has like a smiley face. Oxalotl. There we go. That's what it was. The poet. Shout out. Vista saying was good, y'all. How's everyone doing? He's eating some ground turkey and hard-boiled eggs because he's starving.
He keeps that tradition going by letting us know what he eats.
Yeah.
Good
Every
man.
episode. Mendes 760 saying what's up, RM. 90 saying what's up to Black Guys. Victor saying Junior Sal mural is a must.
Yeah, he's a legend.
Oh yeah. Joey D's barbershop saying if you're going to any of the Padres games.
I'm not gonna be able to catch anything right now. I'm stuck at the park.
Yeah.
I barely get out of Oceanside like this whole year. It sucks.
Yeah.
It's like work, and then I'm at the park. Before the park was the Little League thing. It was like you have to see this stuff through, make sure everything has what they need and everything's good.
Yeah, and shout out to everybody else on the live, man. That's all we got for comments right now.
Talking about you've been working with other people in our community as well throughout Oceanside, and you got to see different viewpoints on the whole gentrification going on. What is the most concern that you hear being brought up when gentrification is being brought up in the conversation?
It's just being made feel like a visitor in your own town. That and just not being able to afford. Like I don't got much family, so kind of on my own for the most part as far as paying stuff. So it's like be a little tight sometimes.
Yeah, right.
And I have a pretty decent job doing construction, but it's like, damn. It's like, didn't I just pay all these bills and just back around and the grocery prices and the gas prices, and it's like, then my rent went up like $200, a few months back, and I'm like, damn.
Right.
You didn't even add nothing to this place.
It's a crazy ass economy, dog.
Yeah.
Nah, I agree, man. I remember a couple years back there was a certain bar with a nice rooftop view of the beach, and me and my homie went there, and trying to hold in his laughter. And we go up there, man, and we try to, we wanted to go get a drink. Like, oh, let's go check out one of these, bars. And we go up there, and there's, they have like their host or there's whatever, and we're like, hey man, could we come and grab a drink? He's like, oh, are you guys renting hotels? Like, nah, we're just some locals and stuff. And he's like, he looked around, he's like, and it was empty, bro. Half the bar was empty, but they're like, oh no, I can't. And then one of the workers, she's Latina. We're like, hey man, so is this like not open for locals? It's like, oh no, yeah, it's open for locals, and like they let us in, but it's just like, what the fuck, dude? You know what I'm saying? And it's also like you say, you don't feel like you're a part of your own city, because like I said, it doesn't feel like it's targeted towards us. Like that's straight up tourists, and
Like
yeah,
right now is the time to shine because all the tourists are gone, so we can
yeah,
like use the fire pits and chill at the beach, and it's not
yeah.
like all crazy.
You got a lot of people moving in who don't necessarily respect, the way things the way people see things around here. So it's
Mhm. Yeah,
I don't
people
know,
come
man.
out here and think it's a trip sometimes, though, which I don't understand why. Then again, I'm used to this.
Yeah.
There's just something about being from Oceanside all around the culture that brings with it.
Mhm.
See like a lot of different cultures all clash at once, bro, and then how we get along for the most part. Just the beauty to see the unity in this community.
We're working on it, but it's still like Oceanside is very prideful. Like
Yeah.
we all like
Mhm.
growing up, like we would go play basketball or football in like Escondido or San Marcos. Like immediately, like we're better than you because we're from Oceanside. Like that's just we always had that feeling like we're the best city, like we're better than you. But then when it gets like, cause I work construction, so I'm all over Southern California, and I meet people, like, and I run into people from Oceanside, and they're like, and it's always the same question. They're like, "Oh, you're from Oceanside," and then it's like, "Oh, what part?" And that's like, cause Oceanside is segregated with the different
Mhm.
neighborhoods, and
Yeah.
some get along and some don't. But like, it's funny. That's always 100%. Like when you say you're from Oceanside, they're like, "Yeah, what part?" And you got to tell them. Like, um, I was working and I met this painter. He's a foreman, an older guy, and he seen one of my stickers on the hard hat. He's like, "Oh, you're from Oceanside?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "That's the best city." And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "You from Oceanside?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Yeah, what part?" He's like, "I'm from." I was like, he's like, "I'm from Center Street." And I was like, "Oh man." I was like, "We can't kick it." I'm from the East Side. And he's like, and I was like, "No, I'm just fucking with you, man. I'm fucking old. I don't care." And he's like, "Yeah, me too." He's like, "I live in Old Town San Diego. I'm not even like that no more." He did his time and he's all, but it's like we're working on stuff. I mean, we're not
Just takes
gonna,
time.
yeah, we're not gonna sit down and have a picnic or anything anytime
Yeah.
soon. But
Yeah.
we can start off by respecting the art, you
Mhm.
know, and then it's like if people can see the big picture, like say, all the different local spots that we go to, say it be Rookies or 1910 or Oside Bar and Grill, fools be always shooting it up or fighting.
Yeah.
And the city just eyes that shit and just wants to close it down. They close the main Cabo Grill, any place that locals go to, like that's part of gentrification.
Mhm.
Like we fuck ourselves.
Yeah.
So like I tell people, I was like, go to these places and there's a problem, like go down the road or something. Like don't burn the spot out, and then you're making it easier for them to get rid of us.
Yeah.
Like you guys are fucking up. You go to jail, and like you're not out here helping hold down the culture and protect the city. You're like, now there's an open spot. Someone else is gonna move in from Orange County with money, and yeah, so it's like, I don't know. I'm not saying everyone's gonna get along, but motherfuckers need to work together, open up, and look what's going down. Like kind of losing the city.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Busy fighting each other, just waiting. They're just waiting, taking over little by little, man.
You also were involved at the Brooks Theater last time. Gave a whole speech about the murals and whatnot as well. And then, of course, we also got to see a little glimpse of what Elvis is planning
yeah,
for the murals right there behind Oside High. Um, and yeah, and you also said you've had conversations with him. What would be the key advice you would say to him and to anybody else that have to lead on these projects?
I say keep it in house as much as possible. Include all your people from the neighborhood. Reach out to those older people. The 60, 70-year olds that know the history of the neighborhood, that grew up there. That know all about that shit, and like get them involved, whether they're painting or helping like prep the walls or just being out there, like because there's so many people involved, like fixing stuff and just being a part or spraying. Like there's just everyone just wants a part. Like one homie wanted to come. He's like, I do stucco. Like he's like, he jammed on it, fixed all the stucco. The other homie's like, I do brickwork. He's like, the other homie's like, I got sprayer. Everyone just wants to be a part, whether they're artist or not. So it's like, I tell them like, let everyone be involved. The kids, the old people, like bring everyone. Like it brings the neighborhood together. And it's like, and I just told them don't let like these, I don't know what you call them, like groups like downtown just bring weirdos into your neighborhood. Like if you're cool with it, then that's cool. You know, I'm just trying to tell you how we're doing things on our side, like, and it's working.
So basically, just being cautious of foreign elements that could come in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because some people aren't always. Because I had so many people reach out and be like, "Oh, I want to paint, the park. I love this project," and they're like, "Oh, where are you from?" I'm from Leucadia or I'm from La Jolla, and I was like, "Well, go paint over there." Like, what do you know about our neighborhood or our culture? Like, no disrespect, like,
Yeah.
but like, I want someone that's invested and like is passionate about painting our park, like not just trying to get off on our neighborhood,
Yeah.
like have actual interest in it and be like, hey, like I love this neighborhood, like I want to help.
Yeah,
Instead of saying
represent something to them.
yeah, instead of be like I just want to get here because it's a big project and it's gonna be known. I want to have something here.
I want my name on there, type of shit.
So we're trying to avoid that, and there's just a lot of weird people like want to.
They're trying to ride off the coattails and also the wave off this one. Really, it's a whole movement.
Yeah, so
you're pushing.
Yeah, but it's been a lot of speed bumps and hurdles. It's been,
Damn.
a lot of stress, but it's worth it. It'll be worth it when it's done, for sure.
Yeah, man. What's going to be the plans after? Well, of course, you got all future events. You really got a lot on your plate, huh?
Yeah, because we're talking with some dude from Eastside San Diego. Because like the goal is to get everyone, like I said, get everyone's park.
Yeah.
So Eastside, they're trying to work with them to get their stuff going too. So it's like, it's just just spread that shit. Like that's the goal. Like people take pride in where they're from, their culture, and like teach the younger kids the culture. They see the stuff on the walls and they ask about it, and then they know instead of being like just knowing about like fucking TikTok and McDonald's or whatever.
Exactly.
Video games, like learn your culture, know where you're from, like take pride in where you're from. So that'll be, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, someone that's been doing art since like the early '90s, man. How are some of the ways that you've seen art and the styles just change throughout the years?
It's night and day.
Yeah.
Guys nowadays, it's better paint, better tips, and just the evolution of it. It's just it's night and day. I mean, you gotta respect the old school stuff, but the new school stuff is just it's insane what people do with spray cans.
Like, in what way are they different? Like, what makes them different? Like, from the spray cans and the tips and all that. From
I mean, they have high pressure cans, low pressure cans. Like the cap's really thin, really wide. They have
just more variety.
Just so many. I mean, there's stencil caps, like make super fine lines. Like it's kind of like cheating, but it's just they do some amazing stuff.
It's just more precise. Like I need to
as opposed to just getting some Rust-Oleums with stock cap, and it's way different.
Oh,
just the techniques and just it's evolved so much.
Interesting. Okay.
What can you say what would you say about San Diego's graffiti and the heads involved and the amount of influence that they bring to the culture worldwide?
San Diego graffiti's got heat, like from north to south, like especially North County heads. Like if you go to different yards and spots, like out of like say Orange County or LA, you see a lot of like San Diego heads, especially North County. Like San Diego's got like it's not as open as like LA. LA's just bam in your face.
Yeah.
But like San Diego graph is like there's some hitters like from back in the day to currently like. So I mean they know about San Diego graph for sure. Like there's a lot of talent for sure.
That's right. That's right.
Is there like a difference in the styles between like LA graffiti and like San Diego?
Slight differences, but I mean everyone's especially with Instagram, everyone's biting and picking little styles here and there off each other.
Okay.
So I mean, but it's Southern California, it's like a region, so it's all kind of. But everyone's always trying to come up with some new style or new something. But
that's all art, man.
All,
like trying to stand out.
Yeah, try to be different because no one wants to like try to bite or have a similar style.
Yeah. Aside from like art projects, what are some other type of projects that you would like to see to implement?
More stuff with the kids where the parents aren't like stuck with a huge bill for them. Like so, when I was a kid, it was like $5 for the whole summer at the Boys and Girls Club. They used to take us to Padre games. We ate every day. Like we played basketball, foosball, billiards. Like it was $5 for the summer. And like that's how we survived. And then at the park, we had free lunches and free activities there. So it's like, and then now it's like things like $400 or something for the Boys and Girls Club. And it's like
something like that
for the summer.
Something like that for a pass. And I'm like, damn. And I know everything's more expensive, but I was like, there's got to be more stuff for funding for like kids to just have free, options for programs
Yeah.
and like sporting stuff, like art programs. Like that's what we're trying to start the art program at the park.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be free. We'll put up walls and then we have canvases and stuff that the kids can paint. So we just want to, because the murals on the wall are going to inspire the kids.
Right.
They're going to see it and be like, damn, I want to paint something like that. And then they'll start drawing, and then next thing you know, we'll just have a whole bunch more neighborhood artists. So we have like an art hub like what is in Logan.
Yeah.
Because like in Logan originally they had like houses for artists to live. It was like a space where it's like an art community. I mean, we want to have that same vibe like in our neighborhood because we have really rich history. It's an old neighborhood. Like, yeah, it'd be cool to see that.
And with that perspective, you emphasize like the importance of voting, right? So
Yeah.
you see like measure like bills and measures like Measure X
Yeah.
that also help funded like after school programs and whatnot. Um, just being aware about what's going on and that what does affect your community. Would you be would you agree to that? Just for people to be aware about what's going on and then it's also what's up
think
on the ballot.
So like since I've been dealing with the city and going to like meetings and stuff, I think more young people need to get involved with going to these meetings and know what's going on. Like when I go, it's like majority like senior citizens and like
Mm-hmm.
older white people, and that's so it's like there's not a younger representation or a minority representation. So it's like we don't know what's going on. So I mean, yeah, I guess it's important to vote for president or the big stuff, but I think it's more important for like local stuff.
Yeah.
Like if you do vote for anything, vote for local stuff that affects us, directly. Like honestly, who cares about the president? Like they're all gonna do the same shit. They're I'm not too much into that, but like the local stuff, I'm in that shit now. Because I've seen it with my own eyes, like who's good and like who's snakes, and like there's a lot of snakes in the city.
Mm-hmm.
So you just got to be careful. And that's another thing I was telling the guys from Center Street is like just don't get too personal with a lot of those people. Like you have to work with them, be cool, but like don't open up too much because they'll, yeah.
Yeah.
I had some issues with some of those people.
It's politics, man.
Yeah.
It's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, at the end of the day, they're politicians,
Yeah.
Because all the different groups, within the city, they be beefing and fighting and shit. So it's like, yeah, I was like, what the hell? I was like, I do different type of politics if y'all tripping. Like, I'm not gonna go to a meeting. We have our own meetings. Like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. Like, and then like, cause I know like they act like they like it, but I know they like the city kind of is like, cause this is the hugest, like the biggest project done, and they don't really have much say. Like we're doing everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they're like, especially like Main Street, Oceanside, or the Arts District, or downtown, whatever. Like it's killing them not to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And it's like stiff arm,
Yeah.
just boom, boom. Like we don't. I see what you're doing downtown. You're not. We're not having no coffee
Yeah.
shops right here.
We have panaderías.
Yeah.
Fucking great, Mike.
We have
Honestly, great job, bro, on the mission
Yeah.
so far, dog. Fuck
Just
yeah.
getting started. We got
Okay.
a lot more to go. We got stuff at the high school. Coach Fale, my bad, lagging. Just been busy. We'll get it. And then like we got a bunch of homeowners, and then we have the St. Mary's Church in the neighborhood, the old historical one.
Yeah.
We're trying to plan something special to paint on that. All the businesses on the corner of Bush and San Diego are gonna get painted. Like a bunch of homeowners have like walls and stuff in the alleys. Like it's just gonna be it's gonna be a crazy year. So we're just gonna then get that nonprofit started so we could get more funding, get like more grant money to like do more stuff at the park. Put like an exercise equipment like pull up bars and dip bars and like that type of stuff. And just we have a lot of plans for the park. We have a lot of good people on board, good team. Like it's just a strong community. Like kind of grateful to be a part of it. Like it's like historical shit, and it's like just to see all the old timers come out. Like there was a guy. It was one weekend. It was like probably like 10 o'clock in the morning, and we're at one of the walls, and he was just sitting on the bench. He was drinking a beer, and he was just like watching. And he came over, and he's like, "This is beautiful." And like I wish I would have recorded it because like the way he was just standing and talking, it felt like an interview kind of.
Yeah.
And he was just talking about how he'd been there his whole life. He was like 63, and his family's been there, and he's like, it's just like beautiful. He's like, we always wished we could paint the park, and it's happening. And he's like, it's just beautiful to see everyone come together. And it's like, I was like, damn, I'm about to start tearing up. But like, these are the stories along with the stuff that like the old time stories and the old pictures they would share. Like that's for me, that's been like the best. Just like seeing that stuff and hearing those stories, like especially with Anita. Like so, I always knew she pushed the cart and sold pozole, and then she sold firewood, and the firewood was really popular. But until I heard the story from her grandsons, I knew why her firewood was so popular, is because in their yard down the street from the park they grew corn, and in the middle she grew weed. So she sold weed, and the firewood was the cover up to sell weed. So like the neighborhood's always been popping like that. So and then she ended up getting busted. They said when she was like in her early 80s, and they went to go bail her out, and she told them that no, leave her in there. She likes it because the girls are braiding her hair and they're taking care of her. But I mean, she's a gangster.
Yeah.
She was growing weed back before it was like cool to grow weed.
I would not get with that term.
But like the history of the neighborhood and the story behind the name is like it's really cool, and it's unfortunate that the city and the police never got that, like the warm feeling of the word pozole, like how we see it as opposed to what they see.
Yeah.
So, but they'll get there.
They'll get there.
Yeah.
Shit, within due time.
Yeah.
We have Joey D's Barbershop saying he's asking, when are you gonna put out an art book of the things you've done?
I had someone hit me up about what are those zines, little books or whatever, but I haven't thought about doing a book yet. Someone had asked me before, just like all the pictures that I have, and I was like, maybe I'll start off doing maybe a little small book or magazine or something.
Fuck yeah.
Because it's documented. I mean, like a lot of the stuff is it's illegal, but it's there for a moment. But if you don't capture it, then they buff over it and it's gone. So it's important to people. Like if I catch stuff, people be like, they'll thank me and they'll be like, oh, thanks for flicking it, because they don't want to go back to the the scene to get a picture or nothing during the day. So me, I don't paint really, so it's like I'm nothing to lose really. So a lot of people are appreciative and they get exposure, and then like the events and stuff, a lot of the guys will get like jobs, painting murals or people's houses or something. So it's like just trying to spin like a positive look on like graffiti,
Right.
like because it's always looked down so bad. Like I know the vandalism, I get it, but there's a good side. And I'm trying to put the good side out.
Damn.
Speaking about that, I was talking to Dentlock over there at S7e47, and then he was talking about like he works like in the community about like when the youth gets in trouble with a lot of like vandalism or graffiti, then they would just do like a 6-week course instead of incarcerating them. So they're just like working with like three different mentors, you can say. I think that's a fucking dope ass idea right there that they have.
Well, he was talking to me about doing it up here because they have a spot and they have the funding. But I told him, I was like, yeah, we could get someone, but there's just so much going on right now. Like I can't keep taking. I'm a pleaser. Like I tell everyone, yeah. Like I was like, yeah, I'll be there. Yeah, I'll do that. And then like sometimes I'll like double book. And I even bought a big ass calendar to write shit, and I still don't write shit down. And I'll
Same.
and I just wing it. And so far so good. But sometimes I'll be like, I just want to help everyone I can. And I'm just like, yeah, I'll be there. Then I'm like, fuck, scheduled here, and to have to rearrange stuff, schedule. But
who would you want to highlight today that helped you out the most throughout like everything you do?
I'll say shout out to 760 Supplies, man. Ever since my very first event in my backyard back in the day, they hit me up and they're like, hey, can we come out and set up and sell paint? So I was like, and then ever since then, like all my events and like we're like salt and pepper, like we're together, 760 Supplies for sure. That's the team. And we got our team 760, that's all a collection of artists. That's, from 760, from Esco, Oceanside, Vista, from all over. Just a collection, like, bring people together. It's just all artists, team 760. So you'll be seeing that up all over.
Yeah, that's right. And what would you say to viewers that would want to help you on your cause and on your next projects and mission? Like what can you advise the viewers that they could do to help you in the process?
And we're always down for some paint donations. Like you want to shoot cash for paint because we have so much stuff, and like especially in the neighborhood, we try to not charge, at least if they could pitch in on the paint. Because we just want to paint the neighborhood. But like there's other jobs where like they got to pay, like especially like stuff through the city or different events down there, because they'll ask about the walls and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, they're for rent. Like I don't mind helping out doing stuff for free, but a lot of the stuff I do takes a lot of time and effort, and like the event in Logan, like I had to get a U-Haul and have people help me set up and load up, and like that shit was a mission. Even coming home that day, I don't know if have you seen that high speed chase?
No, I did.
No. So I was driving the U-Haul with all my shit, and then driving down the 5, and I see the sirens coming from behind, and then so I just keep driving, and then the car comes up flying with no lights, and he fucking cuts me off and almost clips me. And then highway patrol, boom, 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 and it was like Carmel Valley area. Yeah. So then they just started chasing him. So I just kept driving, and then like a little farther down, there was a highway patrol like walking with a flashlight, and then like another mile or two down, there's another one walking around with a flashlight. And then like when I got right before the 78, you can see the helicopter and then like all the lights, and then traffic is stopped. And I'm like, oh shit, they got him right here in Oceanside. So I had to like whip over off the 78 because I was like, I'm not gonna get stuck on the freeway. I gotta return to the U-Haul tonight. But then I guess the dude, he jumped over the wall into South O and like took off running, and they caught him. But I was like, fuck, that was a mission.
Damn.
Crazy story, dog.
Yeah, well, Mike, thank you so much for joining us, man. We appreciate it. Before we end the podcast, is there any last words you want to tell people out there?
Man, just stop hating on each other. Help out each other. Be good to people. It's easier to be nice than be an asshole, for sure.
Oh yeah. Bruce, anything else you want to say?
Shit, I ain't got much to say, man. It's been a dope ass episode. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, leaving the comments, like. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to also like the page as well. Oside Hitups. You can catch the mural here on every episode right there saying Oside.
Yeah, right behind him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. If people ask him where that mural came from, you see him now.
Yeah, and make sure to catch us October 17th at Toasted, and then again on Halloween at Toasted again. Stop by, it's gonna be a good time. Both Thursdays, catch the farmers market, and then come by for some dope ass tunes and drinks.
Yep. And with that being said, you can catch us around next time. Yo, thank you for sipping with us. Thank you for talking up with us. Thank you for kicking it.
Peace. I just heard.